Dave, is there anything you've seen in training camp, good, bad, whatever, that's adjusted your expectations for this team or this season?
You know, the biggest thing is just the way that the leadership in the team has changed. We had good senior leadership last year. The thing I'm seeing now is freshmen, sophomore, juniors, guys emerging in each class that are really doing a good job. And that excites me. Because, you know, you never know when one of those guys is going to be in. And we have experience, but we also have youth backing up experience. So all of a sudden, you see like Jack Tocho, who's not a senior yet, grabbing guys and talking to them and counseling them. And it's fun to watch. Fernandez is grabbing guys. And guys that have played a lot now. They're not seniors. But to me, that's what makes me feel good about what we can do. Now, we got to stay healthy in the right places. And having a great season, we'll see, you know. But I haven't felt like that about our team yet, where you see it throughout the roster, the leadership.
Kind of answers my question. When you don't have a lot of seniors, but it does seem like they have, when you talk to them, when we talk to them, they talk about having a special season and kind of, you know, doing better than last year. Yeah. But isn't it incumbent upon those younger guys to understand that this is their last chance and that they're going to need their help?
Exactly. Funny, you know, when we started the semester, we talked about raising the bar, and then Jacoby got up at the end of it, and he said, look, a lot of you guys are young, but the young guys that have played, you're not young, so you can't say that. And we made it real clear to them that as a senior, the guys that have played, we're treating you like you are not young. You need to own up to that. Because the guys like Naheem and that were red shirts and true freshmen, this is going to be their first game in 8 days. They're going to be nervous, you know. The rest of the roster's not. And so they got to act older because they've played enough to be able to act that way. And for us to be the team we need to be, our juniors and sophomores that have played have to play ahead of their years.
You know, you've said in the past that in order to have the season that you want to have, you need all ACC caliber players. Which ones do you see as the ones that have a chance to get that kind of fight for that recognition?
You know, I don't want to label anybody because I still think there's guys that can emerge, but you know, the returners that were on the list are guys that everybody talks about. Jacoby and Mike Rose obviously stand out. It's hard to say. I mean, I think Jalen Samuels, I don't know where they put him on the list, but he's a really good football player, man. I don't know what he is, like as far as how you slot a guy like him. That guy is a really good football player. I love that shit. The stuff he does every day is fun to watch. And defensively, you know, there's 5 guys in the secondary that are playing at a better level than they played. I don't know how that stacks up to what Louisville and Florida State these guys have, but for us, they're playing pretty good ball.
You know, and talking with their players, you know, they seem excited and ready to go to start the season. Are you at that point now for this team to ready to go at this point, even with a week to go? Are you comfortable with starting this game next week?
Well, we want to play a game. I mean, everybody in their right mind is sick of hitting each other. You know what I mean? You want to get out there, and as a coach, you need to see what you have. You don't really know until you're out there what your problems are. And so we need to play a game. I wish it was sooner than 8 days away.
We are inferring from the scout team and some of the other guys that with Frazier, have you decided to try to redshirt this year?
Well,
plan, or?
He'll probably redshirt. You know, we still aren't to game week yet, so unfortunately he has the flu today, and so he's not practicing, and he had it yesterday. And so, you know, if that's what we end up doing, we'll only do it because we think that's the best thing for him. He's going to be a really good back. He really is. But it's hard when you're sick and you're in the middle of getting ready to play a game and you're not here, you know. So we're excited about his future.
That's all the things you talked about previously too, just the competition at that position and also Reggie being here in January before people.
Yeah, and I think across the board, like for the last 3 years, I don't know what the number is. It's over 20 on how many early enrollees we've had since we've been here. Those guys just have a better opportunity to showcase their skill set in fall camp because they're not thinking like the other guys are. They've already learned through spring ball and summer one before the other guys get here the ins and outs of their position, and so they can really showcase their ability level. And not that they have more ability, but it's going to look like they do because they play faster. They're not thinking as much. And Reggie has that advantage. And he's playing like it. He's doing a good job.